Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What up? What up? What up? Howard, welcome everybody to the channel. If you haven't already, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And make sure you drop it below and let me know your 2 cents as I go throughout the video. If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And let me know in the comments as we go throughout the video your 2 cents. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing last night's fights. And as you can see, it's Teofimo Lopez ready to compete with Gervonta Tank Davis. And I want to clarify, what I mean when I say that. Of course, he's ready to fight Tank. Of course, he could get in the ring with Tank. But when I say, is he ready to be tough competition? Is he ready to be the one to stop Tank, to defeat Tank? That's what I mean when I say he's ready. It's a lot of guys that are ready, quote unquote, ready, and can get in the ring with Tank. But the question is, how competitive can they be in the ring with Tank? Salute to everybody that we got in the building right now. I'll probably be on here for about an hour today. Just to chit chat it up. It ain't really been too much going on in these boxing streets since. And let me know if y'all can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. If I sound good and clear, let me get a sound check. As you know, it's been some things going on in boxing, but it seems like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia has hijacked the boxing world and has literally been the talk since even before the fight. But what's up, H Money in the building? What's going on? Teach in the building. What's up, Teach? How is everything? All things. What's going on, all things? What's going on? Mike Briggs boxing in the building. What it do, homie? What it do? I don't see no one in the chat. Can y'all hear me? All right, there we go. We got some confirmation. So I don't know if I just want to get started on the fights right now and let a couple more people pull in. But let me get y'all 2 cents. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Drop it below. Actually, I could drop the link in the chat if anybody want to come up real quick. Get maybe 2 minutes to get their thoughts about what they thought about the fights last night. And man, Bam Rodriguez. Somebody in the chat, because I've been following Bam since he got his first title. Somebody in the chat, how old was Bam when he got his first title? I had a very extensive conversation with my brother, who actually both my brothers, we talk about boxing all the time. How old was Bam Rodriguez when he got his first title? He was fairly young, I believe, because he's only 24 right now. Let's see what we got in the chat. Let's see. T say a person like Keyshawn isn't ready for Tank because he hasn't proven himself. He beat a wild champ in Pedraza, but needs to do more. Tio has proven himself a number of times. Yeah, I agree. He's ready to get in a fight with Tank, but is he ready to be top competition for Tank? That's what I'm asking. Like, of course, these guys can get in the ring with Tank. Tio can get in the ring with Tank. You know what I'm saying? But is he ready? Is he going to get in there? And as soon as the fight over, everybody like, oh, T.O. was this. Will they have excuses? The same excuses they give to everybody else after they fight Tank. Will it be a really, really good competitive fight where there's no excuses after? That's the question that I'm posing to you all today. H Money say T.O. ain't ish. T.O. a hoe. Come on, H. Why you doing T.O. like that? Although he had hiccups, yeah, he's ready for Tank. Will T.O. beat Tank? Got a favorite Tank. Chief say, but I like the fight. Well, let me think. If you all were to give T.O.'s performance last night on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank T.O.'s performance? Honestly, I didn't feel like T.O. looked bad in the fight. He looked in shape. I mean, he didn't look bad in the fight. He didn't look like he was unprepared for the fight. To me, he took way too many punches. He was taking way too many punches, and it looked like he was having a little issue when the guy was smothering his punches, and he didn't have great ring generalship. Like, he should have been able to keep that guy off of him using his jab, coming behind his jab. But I guess he just wanted to fight on the inside. I don't know. The guy seemed to have an iron chin. Like, T.O. was hitting him with some shots. He just was not able to get him out of there. VA Money Group say T.O. can fight Pero. That could possibly be a good fight. T.O. is a racist. He be hating on black fighters. Man, T.O. is what? Puerto Rican? He ain't no racist. He do be hating, but I wouldn't call him racist. Tank washes T.O. And that's what I'm saying, Mike Biggs Boxing. Everybody calling for T.O. Tank. T.O. Tank. I want Tank to fight T.O. But then as soon as the fight get announced, everybody be like, oh, Tank gonna wash T.O. T.O. lost to Campbell. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to keep hearing that. That's why the question is he ready? Will he be able to get a fight announced with Tank? And now all of a sudden, all these things ain't coming down the pipe as to why T.O. is not a worthy opponent for Tank Davis. Maybe I should have put that. Is T.O. a worthy opponent? That's what I should have put. T.O. is a racist. He is jealous of black fighters. I don't know why. H Money, it's okay for fighters to not get along. Says T.O. already got his ass beat by a bum Cambosis. T.O. did lose to Cambosis. I wouldn't say he got his ass beat, but he definitely lost to Cambosis, which is crazy. Because it's like, how you beat Lomachenko, then you go lose to Cambosis. That don't even that don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. How you beat Loma and then you go lose to Cambosis. And I think everybody was looking for him to get the stoppage win. This was a showcase fight for T.O. He was supposed to go out there and show out. I feel like he looked pretty decent. If I had to rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give him a 7.5 maybe. I mean, of course, the expectation was to knock him out. Teach say if I rated off my expectations, I say 3. I expected 2 to stop him in 6. Yeah, I expected him to stop him under 9 at the very least. T.O. was scared of black fighters. T.O. is scared of black fighters. Well, why you say that, H? What black fighters has T.O. fought? But this is the thing I want y'all to understand with the black fighter thing. It's not a lot of black fighters in the 135 division, first of all. Like let's just get that clear. It's not a lot of black fighters. It's probably 5% of the 35 division, maybe 8 or something like that. But it's not just no whole bunch of black fighters at 35. It may feel like it's a lot of black fighters at 35 because we know them all, because we black fight fans. But shit, we know them all. You get what I'm saying? It ain't like it's no black fighters ducked off somewhere that we don't know about. And then even the term black fighters is quote unquote lessened down, because are we talking about black American fighters? Do we count fighters from other countries that are black as black fighters? Like, how do we categorize that? How do we categorize that with the whole, Tank don't fight nobody but flat-footed Mexicans? I mean, everybody Tank fought wasn't Mexican. Everybody Tank fought wasn't Mexican. They was from different countries. You know what I'm saying? So, like, those general blanket statements people make, you just kind of, understand what level of boxing fan you talking to, and just be like, all right, what's up? I see you, VA Money Group. Let me get through these comments real quick. Don't mess with Texas in the building. What's going on? Crucial Content, what's up? All right, we got VA Money Group on the panel. What's going on, VA Money Group?
What's going on? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up? What's your 2 cents for the show?
Yeah. You said Teofimo fights he fights at 140 now.
I can't understand. You say it again.
I said Teofimo, he fights at 140 now. He doesn't fight at 135 anymore.
Oh yeah, 140. That's what I meant to say. 140. I'm thinking about Tank. But yeah, 140. What'd you think about his performance last night?
I give it a 6. You know, a lot of people have high standards for Teofimo, but he still looked good. I mean, the guy he was in there with, he was a good fighter. You know, just because a guy has 7 losses doesn't mean, knock him out in 2 or 3 rounds, or he's not supposed to challenge you in any way. You know what I mean? He still look good. So what I think it is, I think the criticism.
You faded out.
Get my earpiece right,
man. Yeah, get your earpiece right. You breaking up. All right, let's get through some of these comments. I think a lot of the criticism, I mean, you got to think like some of the expectations that people have, they're not coming from quote unquote hardcore fight fans, for lack of a better term. A lot of these people are casual fans, people that's new to boxing, people that think every fight's supposed to end in a knockout. So a lot of times the criticism is not justified, or should I say the word real or authentic. It's just a lot of people talking. Like I said, I think T.O. put up a good fight. I mean, the guy clearly had an iron chin. He just wasn't going down. Just because you lose fights don't mean you easily knocked out. And then let me ask y'all this. Does it seem like maybe T.O.'s power didn't really just translate up to 140 with him like that? Or you just the fact that he fighting bigger guys? Crucial Content say he ain't been the same since the Loma fight. And you know what, Crucial Content? I was thinking about that, and I heard that T.O. had different trainers for the Loma fight. I'm not sure how true that is, but if that is true, I believe he needs to get better and new trainers, because he looked spectacular in that fight. But then at the same time, he is up and down. You never know what T.O. you're going to get. So, anytime you're seeing the athlete performances go up and down, it's straight mental. That's all a mental thing. We got Teach in the building. What's going on, Teach? How's it going, Teach? What's going
Good.
on?
Yeah. Won't be on for too long because I'm multitasking.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
but I guess the expectation actually came, well, the expectation came from Tio Senior, right? I mean, they said that they didn't want a fighter that moved in the ring. They wanted a come forward fighter, right? And that would pretty much make it easy for them. So obviously the expectation for Tio was to get the knockout, right? With these type of fighters.
Yeah, I guess the expectation was to get a knockout, but I mean, he clearly like beat the guy up like the
Right.
whole fight. You know what I'm saying? So, is the fact that I don't get a knockdown just totally negate my whole performance?
I mean, yes and no. Pretty much yes, because I mean they got the fighter that they wanted. They were pretty much beating the guy up in the ring because Tio Tio was pretty much penetrating through that guy's high guard the entire 12 round. He was getting through the guy's defense. And I mean with the type of punches Tio was landing, I mean he could have gotten the guy out, but I guess the guy was determined to not get
Yeah,
knocked out.
yeah,
But Tio clearly beat the guy, but it wasn't a stellar performance because he got the opponent he wanted and he couldn't finish it. He couldn't finish him.
yeah. He definitely should have finished them. That would have been a better look, especially optic wise. But I mean, he needed a showcase fight. He had a horrible performance against Jermaine Ortiz. He needed a confidence booster. He needed something to be able to showcase. He still got skills. He still can fight. But as you can see, anybody with some type of footwork is going to be a bad style matchup for Tito. It's gonna be a bad style matchup for him. He don't know how to cut the ring off. And even when I was watching his interviews, and he was just like, "Oh, people don't understand when the fighter doing this," and like, no, T.O., you didn't cut the ring off, bro. It's not no, you didn't understand. Realistic Washington fan, what's going on? Big Supreme in the building. He say Tiafimo is trash. Come on, y'all. T.O. not trash. T.O. garbage. GM, what's up? You say T.O. garbage? Come on, y'all. Don't do T.O. like that. He not garbage now. He couldn't stop Steve Claggett. How many times has Steve Claggett been stopped? I guess that would be a good question to ask. All I know
Could
is he
be.
had like 7 losses, but were they stoppages? Were they decisions? Like, how many times have Steve Claggett actually been stopped?
I would have to take a look at his record, but I believe he's been stopped probably several times. But I'd have to double check his record for that.
Big Supreme say Claggett did way better than everybody even expected, which is cool. That's cool. I guess he did better by not getting knocked out.
Yeah, like he did good by not getting knocked out, but he was getting tagged the entire night.
He definitely got his ass whooped. You can't argue that. He definitely got his ass whooped. You can't argue that. Um, I'm just curious what will be next for T.O. He cannot take another fight like this. He's gonna have to challenge himself, take a better fight. But
Now
it's
Tio,
hard. It's hard. You notice you never hear people say, well, I do hear some people say, but nobody's ever like T.O.'s overrated. Because he's not really overrated. We've seen his skills. We've seen what he can do when he's focused. We see how good of a fighter he is when he's focused. It's just the fact that he isn't able to focus. And I don't know if T.O. has peaked. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe he's been at his best already. And the expectation for him to get better is what is on us because he's already peaked and been at his best. Maybe the Loma fight was his peak. Who knows? But we're expecting a lot more out of T.O. He's not that old. He's still got some years left. And I just hope that if he does fight Tank or ever does get a fight with Tank, that he's a viable opponent and people won't have excuses to make about Tank and T.O. fighting because people been talking about that fight for years. That's a big fight people want to see.
But why does he need to fight Tank right now? Why is this cry out for a guy that's not in his division when
I
you
don't think
have
he needs to fight him now, me personally, but I think that fight is a fight that people want to see. I guess eventually Tank will have no choice, I guess, but to go to 140 because who would be left for him at 35? Even though when people say that, I'm like, damn, they want Tank to go to 140. He just weighed in at 133.
Mm.
Yeah. So here's the thing. One of the things that's wrong with boxing is that we keep discrediting and we keep showing a lack of interest in the guys that fight up and down the rankings, right? So Tank Davis, he fights at 135. Frank Martin is a good fighter. He just fought a guy that was in the rankings, and dudes are talking about, oh, he's a nobody. But it's like he's been putting in work. He fought Michelle, beat Michelle. He fought another guy that Shakur was about to fight, beat that guy. Like it was a relevant fight for the division. And it's like if we can't get up for Tank Davis versus Martin, if we can't have respect for Frank Martin and what he's done in boxing, then we're not fans at all, not even casual fans. You know what I'm saying? So boxing's over anyway. So it's like Teo, he doesn't need to fight Tank Davis. Tank Davis is in a completely different division. Teo has, if he wants to fight another champion, he can fight Liam Paro. You know, he can fight. He can wait for Devin Haney when Devin. Well, not wait for Devin Haney, but if Devin Haney comes back, that's a good fight. That's still a big fight. You have Pitbull. You have, you know what I'm saying, Puello. Those are the champions, and then you have the guys up and down the rankings. You have Richardson Hitchens. You have, you know what I'm saying. If Keyshawn Davis moves up, that's a good fight. There's a ton of guys at 140. There's a ton of them. You get what I'm saying? There's no need
Yes,
for
a ton of
there's no need for the cries for super fights up and down. You know what I'm saying? The weight divisions. These guys, Tank, he has a lot of fighters at 135, Zepeda, Murataya, etc., etc. There's no need for the cries for these super fights right now. You get what I'm saying?
well,
When there's
I get what you're saying, and I agree. But I think the issue is like you say, 140 is a pretty competitive division right now at this
it's deep.
point. It's
Yeah,
deep. They've all experienced losses. You get what I'm saying? So there's no point in them ducking each other and doing all of that. But I think the issue is people are in search of an opponent for Tank that you know that they want to see Tank in a competitive fight, and instead of just acknowledging the fact that he's a high skill fighter and a high level fighter, they rather diminish his opponents.
yeah,
So they rather him move up to 140 where he's clearly going to be at a disadvantage
yeah.
and see him fight there and see how he could overcome that. I don't know, for whatever reason it's like it's nobody for him to fight. The only people they mention is Shakur and Devin Haney, when I honestly don't think Devin Haney and Tank Davis will ever fight. I just feel like Devin is always going to be too big. He's
Yeah,
always going to
Tank
be too
ducked
big.
him. Tank ducked him. That was a duck for sure.
I don't think Tank duck Devin. I don't believe
Not
that.
not not duck not duck as in not duck as in you know had the fight on the table and didn't accept the fight, but duck as in that would have been a big fight at 135. It didn't happen, and he was part of. He didn't push it, right? He didn't push it. He let Devin Haney, you know, eat his way out of the division, and now Devin Haney might not even fight at 140 either. You know what I'm saying? So I blame Tank for that.
All right,
Right.
crucial content says Pitbull the best at 140. Don't kill me, y'all. Some might argue with you, crucial content, that Pitbull is actually the weakest champion at 140 right now. Some might argue that. I would definitely not say Pitbull is the best at 140 because the blueprint is already out on how to beat Pitbull. You get Pitbull in there with a boxer, somebody that can use their jab, take him into deep waters. I feel like Pitbull loses that fight. I don't know if y'all seen that. Uh, is it what's his name? Giovanni
The
Cabrera or whatever.
Chicago Mexican, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he beat Pitbull. Go back and watch that
pretty
fight.
much, pretty
He beat
much.
Pitbull. They gifted Pitbull that win, but he got beat that fight. And all Gabriel was doing was keeping him off with the jab and getting him with he. Matter of fact, he even dropped Pitbull with a body shot in that fight. So the blueprint is out on Pitbull. It's the moment, like I think Devin Haney will beat Pitbull. The moment Pitbull
One
gets
hundred
in
percent
there,
Devin Haney beat football.
when the moment Pitbull gets in there with somebody with reach, a jab that he can't get to, with some stamina that can take him into deep waters, I think Pitbull gonna be out of there.
When it comes to Teofimo Lopez, I mean, the question you asked was pretty much legitimate. Um, it has TOP. At 135, Tio was doing his thing. And he was knocking out fighters. When he got to 140, it's like he only had like one good performance, and that was against Josh Taylor. And then
He had two good performances. There was another guy he stopped.
who's that?
It- the first guy he fought, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but that was like a tune-up fight for him. The Mexican guy you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he's expected to knock him out. So for me, I mean, for me, Josh was the only breakthrough fight he had at 140. And then when it comes to the fight last night, it's like he wanted a come forward fighter, but he wasn't really doing well against. He did well, but not. He did well, like tagging the guy, but he couldn't get the guy off him. That guy was swarming him the entire night. And now that he's calling out Isaac Cruz is the same style fighter as that guy. Has a high guard, he comes forward, but Isaac Cruz has a tight defense. I don't see Teo hit him. I don't see Teo getting clean hits off of Isaac like he did that guy. Plus Isaac has power too. So right now is like I had Teo winning against Cruz, but now I'm just questioning that fight. I think Isaac Cruz does better than what I expected him to do if they fight
I don't know, man.
Against Tio.
against Teo. Yeah,
I mean, like you said, Tio want to come forward fighter. So thinking about it from a technical aspect, Cruz is tailor made for Tio.
yeah, but you got to remember, he has a tight defense, man.
He does.
Yeah,
Teo,
He got no.
sir. We've seen Pitbull Cruz a total of 3 years, right? Since 2021. He fought a solid fight against Tank. He didn't get knocked out, but he did get beat up, and Tank was only using one hand. Since then, he's fought literally nobody that would allow you to justify him getting any compliments. Like the best in 3 years, the best competition was Rolly Romero. How did he get the belt? Do you remember?
I
You get what
mean,
I'm
we
saying?
can't act
So
like Rolly not a dangerous fighter. He might not be the most skillful fighter, but
mm,
Rolly is a
nah,
dangerous fighter.
Rolly's not deserving of any compliments,
No,
in my
come on.
opinion. And Rolly won the title by the ref jumping in and stopping the fight while he was getting hit, while the guy was running a combination. He's on the ring. He turns his back and he's shelling up on the ropes while the guy is trying to knock him out, and the fight gets stopped in his favor. You get what I'm saying? Like he robbed like two guys already.
I
We've been
mean, I get
watching
what you're
Rolly for
saying,
years.
but I'm just saying he's Rolly's still a dangerous fighter. He catch you, he knocking your ass out. It's not like he just
Who who
nobody.
who
He
who,
knocked out plenty of people.
who are these guys he knocked out?
I don't know their names. I don't know their names, but I did watch Rolly on his come up.
Yeah, me too. He knocked out some guys, but I'm saying when he started fighting in like the rankings, anywhere in the rankings, those knockouts dried up. And as a matter of fact, we watched him, I think, on two different occasions get gift decisions. All I'm saying is that Pitbull is getting a lot of credit for stuff that he has not done, and I get it. Like, because the internet is powerful, people don't understand the influence. Like I think last time we talked about this, the influence of what people say on the internet, it has an impact, right? And so now a guy like Pitbull can fight the guy like you just talked about, the no name from Chicago, have a bad fight the very next fight, beat a guy who's really not that much better than the guy in Chicago, and then we're like, oh, we're back on his nuts again with this knockouts cause amnesia thing. And it's like this dude, there's so many top fighters at 140, so many top fighters at 135. He's fought none of them. You know what I'm saying? If he fights Puello, does he win? I don't
Yeah, and
know.
that's why I was saying a lot of people would say Pitbull is the weakest champion. That's why I was saying that
Yeah,
earlier. Yeah, he's not the best greatest fighter, but it's just the fact that he has a pressure style, he gets knockouts, and people want to see how your style performs up against a style like that. Now, I don't think nobody think Pitbull is the greatest. Like I said, a lot of people will argue he's the weakest champion at 140, but people do want to see how their style would match up against a pressure knockout puncher like Pitbull. That's why you hear his name a lot. That's what I
Nah,
think.
they're saying the fans online, Mexican fans mostly. But like I said, you have fans like this guy Crucial. He looks like a black guy. Pitbull's the best at 140. Like, dog, I'm not into the hardcore, calling people hardcore or calling people casual, but it's obvious that that opinion comes from him being influenced from the stuff that people say online. Because, like I said, as a guy who's actually watching the fights and he wants to see, the best fight the best, I have not seen Pitbull fight the best. He got beat by Tank, and like I said, gift decision against somebody else, and then okay, you beat Rolly, but who's Rolly? Rolly's not
Well,
even supposed to
we'll
be here.
see. We'll see who's next for him because he got the belt now. So we definitely gonna see him fight better competition. But Crucial Content says he think he gonna surprise everybody, and he gonna beat To and Pero, and Puello might have the best chance to beat Pitbull. So Crucial Content is high on
No,
Pitbull
no.
right
So,
now.
I
so,
mean, all I'm
so his next fight is Rayo. Rayo is a 135-pound fighter who got his name from knocking out a 130-pound fighter.
Now
Right? Rayo's
that's a conversation I was having earlier. Do people really think Rayo got anything for Pitbull? Because unless Rayo can come in there boxing, that's the only chance he got. I'm talking about boxing, able to keep Pitbull off of him, use his footwork. That's the only chance, in my opinion, that he has of beating Rayo. But a lot of
well,
people think
can't
that this Rayo fight will be is 50-50. I've heard
well,
people tell me it's 50-50.
you can't use the weight as an excuse in the Ryu and Isaac fight because Isaac is pretty much 135 too. He only had a one fight at 140 and won the title.
just one more than Rayo. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but
That's an old training camp. Like, I can understand. I can understand if Rayo had one fight before, but this is his first fight at 130. If it was like something like Pitbull had been at 140 for like 3 years, and Rayo had already had a fight before previously at 140, then I wouldn't say nothing. But this is his very first fight at 140 ever, and this guy, I mean, he's a big dude. Rayo's a big dude. I'm not, but it's his first fight at 140, and this is who you choose to defend your belt against. This deep ass 140-pound division, and you choose to defend against Rayo from 135. Puello had to fight Gary
Oh,
Russell.
Rayo is the
Uh,
mandatory, I believe. Or no?
who, how is he mandatory? He just
Nah,
moving
he
up.
just coming up, huh? Yeah,
yeah, he's
that's
just
true.
coming
I
up.
don't know why he
Yeah.
fighting Rayo.
So Puello, Gary Russell had to fight Paro. Matias had to
Even
fight. Who else? Well, Tio ain't fighting nobody. He fought Josh Taylor before though. So everybody, all the dogs are fighting. He brings in the culture of I'm Mexican, so I don't have to challenge myself. I could just pack the house with Mexicans and fight whoever the fuck I want to fight because so what? You know what I mean? And that's what's pissing me off about boxing today. Is guys are getting hyped, and every time I come on this podcast, I say the same thing. Virgil Ortiz never fought nobody. Jaime Munguia never fought nobody. Zerto, he beat some guy from Philly. This guy was high on from Philly, and then went 10 years and ain't fight nobody in 8 9 years. You get what I'm saying? And it just kept Canelo ducking everybody. It, they don't even need to fight people no more. They just we're the best, and then that's it.
I
I'm
mean,
tired of it.
that's the business of boxing. Because you got to think they're building Pitbull to be one of their stars right now. It might be another shit year or two before you really see Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to build him
Yeah,
up, build him up, build him up, and
but he's
then
a
you'll start seeing
champion
him fight
though.
the big fight.
He's a
He is a
champion. It's too
champion,
late.
but I don't know. It 140 got a lot of competition in it, so he may start fighting competition. You never know. We just gotta see.
Yeah.
But I do feel what you're saying. Johnny Durag say, do you think Bam versus Inoue fight is possible in 2025? I say no. But the reason why I say no is because I think Bam is like 10 pounds under Inoue right now. He's too small for Inoue right now. Um, I don't
yeah,
know
that's
how
the
long it
thing.
would take for him to get there for that to be a fight, but I mean that would be a decent fight if the weights presided. But I think Bam is just a little too small for Inoue right now.
I don't see that fight happening.
It's
Nah, it's not
like
gonna
it's a lot of fights that people would like to see Inoue in, but he's too small or he's too big.
Yeah, mostly
You get
fans.
what I'm saying?
He
We
did
got
that though. He did.
him.
Yo,
It's up
I
to
had
What's
to
up?
you.
I had
Go
to
ahead,
click the
T.
link because I don't like when people be talking bullshit. But go ahead, Teach. My bad.
No, no,
Now,
no. Bullshit.
I was
What's
just saying.
bullshit?
Now I
Hold
was
on,
just
hold on.
saying.
Go ahead, Teach.
Now I was just saying what's up to GM. But again, I mean, I want to say something to VA though. I mean, you put Isaac Cruz in the same scenario as last night's fight, Tio and Claggett, and you see how Claggett was swarming like Tio, and Tio couldn't get away from the guy.
Yep.
Don't you give Isaac Cruz a good chance in that fight versus Tio?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Tio took a lot of shots. Tio took a lot of shots.
Right.
so in boxing, one of the first things that they say, one of the first things you learn as far as like watching fights and stuff like that, they say styles make fights. So Teo is like a a slick type Iron leader. Shout out Iron leader. He's like a slick type fighter that likes to stick and move and use athleticism. So what do if you want to, you know what I'm saying, slow a guy like this down? You pressure him. You just all out pressure him. Like the guy that he fought had no chance of victory, bro. He had no chance of victory. He looked good for a round or two. He had no chance to win. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I was
Bro,
at
he
Like
one
was,
point in that fight. I
bro,
was
he
like,
was
Tio
like,
keep taking these shots. He'll mess around and get dropped. I ain't gonna say
man,
he
he,
had no chance to win because Tio was getting hit with some stuff.
man,
Let's
he
not
was
act like
one
Tio was just Tio face was knotted up.
right. Like he had a few more punches for that cut opened up, and the fight is over. What are we talking about? The man, both of his eyes was messed up.
He took a lot of shots. I mean, I still thought he was gonna win the fight, but I was just saying he had no his defense was trash.
No,
And
I'm
one
just
of
saying
yeah.
that
I just
Tio
want
could
to
have
say
got
my
cut open.
last point. Yeah, one of Isaac Cruz's best attributes to me is his defense. I mean, the guy, I mean, he has a tight
mm.
defense, man. We can't ignore that. And I don't think
I mean, when you say defense, like it, so Adrian Broner at 135 had good defense. At 147, his defense was no longer good.
But
You
he
get what
don't
I'm
got
saying?
no business at 147 though. Adrian Broner is too small to be fighting at 147.
Yeah, my point is, who's he fighting at 135? You know, he did fight this one guy. He fought a good guy at 135, and then he fought some guy from the UK. He won up to 147. He started fighting dogs, and all of a sudden his defense is no longer good. So it's like when you move up in competition, man, it's going to be different. All this his defense is good and stuff like that. When you fighting Gamboa, yeah, your defense is going to be good. When you fighting some no name from Chicago, yeah, okay, cool. But fight Puello, let's see. Fight Gary Russell, let's see. You get what I'm saying? Like this is why the conversation, like, it doesn't work if you're not fighting guys. Everybody's gonna look like a world beater when you're fighting nobodies, bro. When you're fighting guys that shouldn't even be in the top of the ranking, you're gonna look like a killer. But
But how
Well,
fight
can you say they
some
should be on
dogs.
top of the rankings if they on top of the rankings?
I mean, you know, boxing. That's just boxing.
bro, you only want to
Maybe
see people
that's why.
you. It sound like you only
Mhm.
want to see people. He fight people you know their name, but like we just watched Tiafimo fall Claggett. That dude is a
Yeah.
bum. And where was his defense?
So
Where was his defense? All that slick movement you was talking, he had no defense, bro. Look at his face. The dude
Yeah,
was
he had
getting
no
touched
defense.
up. Pitbull would fight just like that. It would just be harder punches, and he wouldn't get hit as much as Claggett did.
let's
That's
see it.
true. That's
Let's see
true.
it.
I'm just saying. And then you said that why I really clicked the link though is because you was talking about Ryo and his weight. I'm like, bro, that dude is 5'10". He's a weight bully. He should be at like welterweight. And we're
It's not
Who,
talking about
Ryo?
five.
yeah, that
Definitely not 5'10".
he's
Ryo
five
He's
not
a
no
ten.
big dude.
5'10". Ryo
He's
five
five
He's
ten.
ten.
he's a big dude. No, he's not
He's
5. He's not 5. He's a
he's
big dude
five
though.
ten.
He
Maybe they
he's
lied, but
small.
that's what he is listed at
Hey,
five
chat,
ten.
Google that for me. How tall is Ryo? And nobody still told me how old Bam Rodriguez was
I
when he
think
got
he's
his
20.
first championship.
I think he was 20 something. 20. I think 20.
He was 20. Oh,
I
so
think
4 years
so.
ago.
No, it couldn't have been that long ago. Maybe
It
Yeah,
wasn't
like
before COVID.
Ryan's about 5'8". Yeah, he's not 5'10".
bro, it said 5'10".
Nah, Ryo not 5'10". He not that much taller than Colbert.
Exactly. Kobe about
mm,
like
I don't
5'7",
think he's 5'10.
5'8".
Maybe 5'8" or something.
Yeah. He's a big dude, though. He is a big dude. I'll give him that, but it's, whatever. It's a good fight. I'm not shitting on the fight. I'm just saying, like, how come though? 140 is not the division where you need to be pulling guys up. It's so deep.
He's not pulling the
The
guy up.
thing,
Again,
the thing with
again,
142, I want y'all to keep in mind, like we want to see all these fights at 140, but 140 is usually a pass through division. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's not a division where people just sit and stop at. So after maybe about a year or two, it's gonna be harder for these guys to make 140. So I
Mm.
don't know if we're gonna get to see all these fights we want to see at 140 because those guys usually aren't. When has the 140 division ever just been hot?
It's,
This is
it's
Oh
not.
man,
It's not
140
even
stay
hot
hot.
now.
140 stay hot. What are you talking about?
It's
Remember
not
back
in
when
even hot now.
40
Tim Bradley, Devon Alexander, Amir Khan, Victor Ortiz, Maidana, Matisse,
at
then Danny
140.
Garcia. Yeah,
And these guys you name, and I mean, Danny Garcia, people clown Danny Garcia on his legacy. Tim Brett, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I always thought 135, 147, 154 be the hottest divisions.
140 is not hot right now, and they said it was gonna be the next division. It's not looking like it.
Wait,
And
it's hot right now. What you mean? 140 is
nah,
hot. The
it's
competition
trash.
is listen,
It's trash.
147 ain't got a lot of competition right now.
147 is a ghost town, but I'm saying like 140 is fun to watch, but the level of they all at the same level of competition. Like I'm ranking these dudes based off like who they're losing to. Like think about it. Like Josh Taylor and Regis, they at the same level as like I'd say a Devin and a Jermaine Ortiz, like and a T. Like they just like all almost like one level below. They just not there.
The
that makes no
guru, what's
sense,
going
bro.
on?
That makes no sense. That makes
But this,
absolutely no sense. Listen,
but even if that's true,
Hmm.
they're all the same level. You near
Yeah,
the
they
same
are.
level,
It's
so the
fun to
fights will
watch.
be competitive.
nah,
They just
You
not
get
nah, I
what I'm
can't
elite.
let you get
saying?
away with that, bro.
They not elite.
But
No,
that's
Like,
but if you think about
listen.
it, but listen, that's boxing as a whole though. It's not it's levels. It's not just no whole bunch of elite boxers there right now anyway at
well,
any
they
weight divisions.
no.
What, one or
That's
two maybe?
I agree with you, but I'm saying it's
Regis is 35, bro. Josh Taylor was a champion. What was it? This was like 5 years ago they were fighting. 4 or 5 years ago. Regis is on his way out the door. How's he supposed to be still elite when he's
And the
who
35
only
and he's
reason
been
I
fighting
feel like
guards?
Josh
Regis was
Taylor
never
and
elite, man.
Regis is even still at
Oh my
140 is because they
goodness.
don't want to go to 47. Ain't no way Josh
Bro,
Taylor should
Right,
still be at 140.
right. They
And
was
Regis shouldn't be there either.
Regis was never elite.
no.
He was better than is now, but he's not. He was never elite.
And so what's elite for you?
Like you know what elite is,
A
man.
lot of fighters aren't even never be elite though. So that's a
Right.
tough. That's a
That's
you know what
true,
I'm
but I'm
saying?
saying when you comparing it to the 135 division, that was actually like people were saying them elite fighters, and you could say
mm,
that.
Who
You
who is
know,
elite?
You got Loma, you got Tank, you got Shakur, you got you. People thought we thought Devin was elite. We thought
No, we didn't think
well,
he was elite.
I say
You just
Tio at 35 was elite, right?
you said Loma was
you
elite.
would.
Dude got 3 losses, bro.
I'm saying
But
when
that
you
don't make
He
you
got
not
more.
elite because you
He
got
got, he
depends
got
on what
more
you
losses
call
than
it.
Prograde.
I
He got
know
more
intent.
losses than Prograde. Listen, Prograde had a tournament for
Bro,
his belt.
Prograde is trash, bro.
Prograde is trash, bro.
Yes, he's not elite.
Yo, your
Josh
credibility is
Taylor and
gone, bro.
Prograde same level, bro. Like
who
they not
Hey,
Israel.
even.
What's
Your
up?
credibility is
Welcome
right
gone,
to the
bro.
now,
chat.
right now, I
Hey
don't
y'all,
think
if
he's
y'all in the
good.
chat, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And real quick, let me run through this. Thank y'all for stopping by today to join me on this live. If you can support the channel, and there are several ways that you should support the channel. The first way you can support the channel is simply by punching that like and subscribe button. And if you joining me on this live today, another way you can help support the channel is just by commenting your 2 cents in the chat or clicking the link and coming in and giving your input on the conversation. You could also take this link, share it just to one person, let them know if they're interested in some good boxing talk. They can come to 2 Cents Boxing. If you would like to monetarily support the channel, you can hit me up on Cash App, $ 2 Cents Boxing with the S. $ 2 Cents Boxing with the S if you're interested in monetarily supporting the channel. But if not, just hit that punch that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment in the chat. click the link and come give your 2 cents. These are all ways that you could help support the channel. So once again, thank everybody for stopping by. And if you want to hop up, I'm about to drop the link in the chat. If you want to come up today and give your 2 cents.
I
So
think
yeah,
we
man,
just
calling
has
Regis trash. You thought you just deleted any credibility that you could have had talking up here, bro. Now you're just some guy who says crazy stuff for reaction, bro.
No,
That's what you
okay.
are.
Look, you can't
right.
take my when I say trash, bro. You can't take it like it's actually trash. I'm just saying
Ed
like
1050, what's going on?
I'm just talking shit, but he's not that level, bro. He's a good fighter, but he's not that level.
Based off of what? Man? Based off of what? But based
Just
off of
his
what? He
just
lost to
what his
Devin Haney,
skill.
so he's not good.
No, just his skills in the ring. Like okay,
He only lost 2 fights.
and who else has he fought?
Everybody, dog. So he's 35 years old.
And who else
So
has he
the
fought?
guys that are around now, they weren't around 3 years ago.
What was his best
All the
win?
other guys.
What was his best win?
What was his best win? I'll have to look it up. But he fought in
Zapata.
the tournament.
Zapata was his best win.
Nah.
Regis has, to use the term 2 cent use, like Regis, he's already peaked and he's not gonna get any better. I think ever since the
And he
Williams,
in the wrong weight class. He can't perform at a high level when he draining himself.
but I think ever since Williams Zepeda, even though he won that fight, from that fight I said Regis was done. Like even though he won that fight, Zepeda was like tagging him all night with his jab.
And that was
And
his best win.
Zepeda's a top fighter though.
That was his best win, and Hitchens made that shit look easy.
Mr. Greg in the building. What's going on, Mr. Greg? He says
Hitchens is
they
a top
don't.
fighter.
Hold on, wait. This is a good
Come on.
point. This is a good point. Mr. Greg says they don't fight enough to perform at the elite level. So that makes them suspect as being even called elite. And I think this is a main
Uh,
part of the issue. If these fighters fought more, we would see them fight better competition. You get what I'm saying? But since they fighting maybe once a year, twice a year, you can't afford to just throw them in there with top competition and then they lose and then they stock go down. If they're fighting more often, a loss wouldn't it'll be, you know what I'm saying? Next fight come up, boom, you can erase that out of people's memory. But that's not what these fighters are doing. I'm not
yeah, so
sure if it's the fighters or the promoters or why these fighters, not fighting a lot like that, or maybe you get to a certain level and you only fight twice a year anyway. Like, I'm not sure exactly how that part of it goes. Does anybody have any insight on that?
I think in order to pay a fee, pay the fighter's fee, you have to have a fight of a certain magnitude. So you can't just be fighting anybody. Um, certain fighters like Regis. I think he has to fight like a top guy every time out at this point to pay him.
I don't know. I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like if they did fight more, then a lot of these dudes we calling like the top guys, we wouldn't see them as the top guys because they would probably lose more too.
That might be true, but there's nothing wrong with losing though. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. I'm saying we wouldn't call them the top guys. Like I feel like Regis should have been lost like a couple times.
A couple times. Which fights were these?
No, I'm saying like if he would have fought like the top guys at the time, like if he would have fought Matias, I felt like he would have lost. I feel like he would have. I mean, first of all, I want to know why is he fighting Catterall? Like that's another point. Like we got Regis fighting Catterall.
Yo, you're bugging, bro.
Why?
So Matias been a champion less than a year, bro. Matias won his belt late last year. You know what I'm saying? He lost before that. He lost like a couple years before that. Like he wasn't. Matias had a meteoric rise. Like he wasn't like a top guy forever. You get what
It's
I'm
only been
saying?
1 year.
They literally had a tournament where all the top guys at the time had to fight. The two best were
I know the
Josh Taylor. Okay,
I know, and I'm not gonna lie. Like when I watched that fight, I felt like Regis edged it, but that was in the UK or whatever they were, and then they gave it to the Taylor. But I didn't think that. I mean, there was still a close fight. But I'm saying, why is Jack Catterall fighting Regis right now? Does that make sense to
two
you?
top fight. Those are top, that's a good fight. That's top guys. Those are two top
Why?
guys.
That's a good question. Why you
yeah,
say that's a good
it's a
fight, VA?
Yeah, Catterall
Nah.
beat
Is
Mikey
Regis coming
Garcia.
off
Did he
a
not?
loss?
Regis is coming
Did
off the
Catterall
Devin
not
loss.
beat Mikey Garcia?
Did he not just beat Josh Taylor?
But we
Catterall
can't
might be
act
the
like
highest.
a lot of times what happens is these fighters take fights and they lose and then they get title shots their next fight. I don't know if it's promised to them by their promoter, but you see that happening with Lomachenko. He getting the title shot after every loss he get.
That's
Yep.
cool, but that's not even for a title.
What are you talking about?
I don't think. I mean, for
Catterall
me, I
versus
don't.
Regis is not for a title. Why is Catterall fighting Regis? Like, why? Why would you go backwards?
Well then,
You don't want that fight, though?
I mean,
Catterall.
I would have been. I'm cool with the fight. I'll
but why
watch
is
it,
he
but
going backwards? Regis is still one of the top at 140, right? Just because he lost to Devin Haney,
I'm
which is
saying,
quote
look, that's
unquote an
what I'm
elite
saying.
fighter.
Catterall wanted.
Catterall
Catterall
just
wanted a
beat
TO.
Josh Taylor. He just beat Josh Taylor. Why is he going to fight Regis, who Josh Taylor beat and Devin Haney beat? Like, why are you not going for a title?
But remember, Catterall wanted to fight Tio. That was the guy on his list. But obviously, they're on two sides of the street.
They could
Um,
do Catterall versus Paro.
and
Like,
yeah, but Parra had just fought, right?
Yeah.
So he's off the list. So Catterall
you
has to
wait.
fight somebody.
No, but see, that's the matter
So
of the promoters trying to keep their fighters active.
yeah,
Exactly. Like, no, listen. You got to fight top guys.
what
So
I think,
the mind. Go ahead, go ahead.
what I think he's gonna fight Regis, and if he beats Regis, he's gonna either get Paro or Tio if they can make that fight happen. But he can't just wait. He needs a fight. So Regis is the
Exactly.
one.
So the mindset that you're using to form these opinions is like not one of a boxing fan. All
I am, man.
the
Stop coming
boxing
at me like
fans
that.
wants to see boxing fans want to see the best fight the best, regardless of
Okay,
whether or not
and
there's a
Regis
belt
is
on
not
the
the
line.
best.
Listen. The best fight, the
Regis is
best
not the
thing
best.
is a myth. It's a myth in boxing. Like I'm just gonna say it. The
Whoa,
best fight, the best. It rarely happens. How often do you see the best fighting the best? You rarely see that.
it's
You
very rare.
rarely
It's very
see
rare.
two fighters in their prime fighting each other. So that whole I want to see the best fight,
It
the
does
best
happen.
thing
It
like
does
that.
happen.
It
It
does,
does
but it's
happen.
not. It's not something you're gonna see every fight. One, these fighters cannot fight the best competition every single fight. No sport does that. No sport plays the best single team every single competition. It doesn't happen. So why do people expect for that to happen in boxing?
Even if
You're
you do
gonna see.
expect it to happen, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jim.
I was saying, even if you do expect it to happen, like Regis versus Catterall is not the best fight. The best. Like, what are we talking about?
I
Man,
mean,
all right, all right, man.
I
All right,
like
man.
that fight. I
You
mean,
could like the fight. It's not the best fight. The best.
but the thing
All
is,
right, man.
Catterall, right?
Josh Taylor twice.
Yeah, he beat a former undisputed. You got to give him that credit. Um,
He should be
Regis was,
undisputed.
yeah, and Regis was once unified. You got to give him
Catterall should
that
be
credit.
undisputed. That's what
Where did
you said.
Regis get his belt? Where did Regis get his last belt? From Josh Taylor, who
Yeah,
Catterall beat
Okay,
but
would did
before that,
Catterall just have a tough fight?
versus Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe say that. I don't think so. I felt like he beat up Josh Taylor.
So let's just say it was a very tough competitive fight. He's not going to go into another very, very tough competitive fight. It doesn't work like that.
Oh, this is a tough and competitive fight, though. This is a
Regis
tough
and
and
Catterall.
competitive. Yes.
I think Catterall gonna box Regis' head off.
I
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
don't.
about
Catterall wins too.
I don't see it
so,
being a
so,
tough
so,
Things
competitive
are
so
fight.
pretty.
Catterall might win. Catterall might win, but this is what you understand. Like, Catterall's not Devin Haney. Catterall didn't have a 70 something inch reach, 75, 76 inch reach. He's not damn near 5'10", but you
75.
know,
What?
he's not 5 foot. He's not 5'10" with Devin Haney's feet. He's going to be right in
What?
front. He can box, but he's going to be getting hit by Regis.
How
You know what
big
I'm
you
saying?
think Devin is,
Ariana,
man?
what's going on? Queen, what's up with you?
Devin Haney's humongous. What are you talking about?
I'm
Devin Haney's
talking
bigger
about
than Catterall.
reach. It's 75 minutes reach, bro. Come on, bro.
He's
So,
up
so
there. He's
Rambo
up there.
Red, Rambo
He
Red,
got a
welcome to the
70-inch
chat.
reach.
Welcome to the channel. He made a good point. He said Catterall beats Regis, then gets a title shot versus Paro, before Richardson Hitchens? He asking the question.
That's what I feel is going to happen.
I think Pyro fights Richardson Hitchison
Is
next.
Richardson Hitchens at the zone?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's with Eddie Matchroom. Yeah,
All
What's
right,
up,
Mr.
Lorena?
Greg says the managers are searching for the biggest purse for their fighters while also protecting them from more dangerous and competitive fighters. The promoters so skittish of what fights they will pay for.
I agree with that.
I think it should be Josh Taylor versus Regis.
Josh
Two,
Taylor?
and
two. Yeah,
nah, I don't want to see
No,
that.
I'd
they
rather
already
see that
fought.
fight, man. But we seen that fight. That was okay. Why do we have Josh? Why
I
do we have
thought,
Taylor versus Catterall two? Why we have Taylor versus Catterall two? But we couldn't have
Because the
Regis
first
versus
fight
Taylor
was
two.
I thought,
questionable.
I thought,
Same was Regis versus Taylor one.
I thought Josh won that fight.
I mean that's
Like,
Nah,
fine.
I
You
thought Regis.
I
I
yeah,
thought
thought Regis
there.
Catterall
was.
won that fight with Josh Taylor the first
no,
fight.
No,
no,
we talking
Josh
Regis
versus
versus
Regis,
Taylor,
because I thought Josh won that fight.
and then VA said he thought Regis won.
Yeah, it was a close fight. I know. I know for a fact Regis definitely wants that fight back. For before he retires, he definitely want. He will love that fight.
That
But
makes sense.
no, it's no point. It's no point in following boxing. I hate to keep doing this, but it's no point to follow to be following boxing if
Yeah,
you look at Regis versus Catterwall and you don't like that fight. There's no point to keep following
Did
boxing,
you
bro.
hear what I said?
No
I said I
disrespect.
like.
No disrespect.
Did you hear that? I said I like the fight, but I don't feel like Catterall should even be wanting to fight Regis right now. He should be trying to go after a title, and they should be
Who
making that
okay,
happen.
who are title holders at 140 and what promotional company are they with?
Well, I'm saying Pyro is the only one with the zone right now.
I think
So
Puello and Gary
so
Russell are both
I,
PBC, but I think they're going to
Catterall,
the zone.
Catterall, he's ranked in the WBO, so I mean, he's supposed to get a shot at TO,
Yeah,
and
but we can't. I mean, that's not the
Pyro,
zone though. So
yeah, but I mean, still, if they were to make it a Mando or something, they would have to fight. But at the same time, the IBF is with Matchroom, so those are the only two belts that he could really fight for, the IBF or the WBO.
I'm just,
it's about to be some unifying going on here in a minute.
I'm just saying. Hear me out. Like Jack Catterall, we just got
Damn,
confirmation that all them belts should have been Jack Catterall's because we didn't see in the first fight where we felt like Jack Catterall won,
that's water
right?
under the bridge, though. That's water under the bridge.
Okay, but
That's
he
what
just
people
beat
do
him
about that.
again. Why is he not getting a title shot? I don't understand why he's fighting Regis. Like that's not doing anything better for him. Like I don't know.
Who's he fought? Who's he fought and beat before Josh Taylor?
I couldn't tell you.
He
I
fought
mean,
and beat Mikey Garcia.
but GM, like you would have to keep Catterall busy, right? And like knowing that he can't get Paro right now. Like who else?
No, matter of fact, that wasn't Catterall. That was Sandor Martin. What am I talking? I get those two mixed up.
Like who else could yeah, who else could he fight? Like, do you want him to wait or do you want him to like fight somebody in between?
I mean, I'm not. I don't. I'm not a promoter. I couldn't tell. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me. I would rather see the two losers fight, meaning
Mm.
Josh Taylor, and Regis. Because I mean, we haven't seen Regis win a
I
fight,
mean,
and
that
we
would
know
make a
he's
little bit more sense.
we're not gonna fight see him beat Jack Catterall. That's just a fact. Like
Man, listen.
they
So
gonna it's gonna be done.
I
He's
just
gonna
want
be
to
done.
see. I just want to see the fights. Any mixture, any combination of the top guys
He's
is
not a
a
top guy.
win
Stop
in
calling him
box.
that, please, bro.
Who's not a top guy?
Regis, bro. Come on, bro.
What you mean?
This is crazy,
He
He
was
dog.
one of the
used
best at 140
he used
until
to.
he just got beat.
This
I don't
dude is
care. It's
I
bugging,
mean,
bro.
the
it's
man
our
This
opinion.
dude
landed
It's
is
our
38
bugging.
punches
opinion.
in 12 rounds. 38 punches in 12 rounds. You cannot call him the best no more.
That happened.
Nah, it
He
don't.
was outmatched.
It don't happen. It
Three
don't
punches in
happen.
6 rounds. What are you talking about? Lomachenko got washed like half the fight against
I said
Teo.
38 punches in 12 rounds. That does not happen. That was a record for a championship fight, the lowest landed punches by one fighter. You can't
Nah, I
call him the
think
best no
Shakur
more.
got that fight.
No, that
That
Shakur
record.
landed more. Shakur landed more versus Edwin.
What are we talking about right now?
Edwin
You know what I'm saying?
might have broke it. He might
We're
have had a leg.
denigrating. We're denigrating good fights. You know, I was listening to the boxing scene uh, like a couple months ago when the Lomachenko versus Tank hype started to build a little bit, and they were like, "Nah, we don't want to see that fight. That fight is too late." It's like, dog, these guys are following the wrong sport. We don't get big fights. Whenever you get a combination of top guys, any combination of top guys, you have to be happy for that, man. Like, so
I
this
mean,
guy,
but that, you
dog,
got a lot of
that's
this
a real
is
sport. You've been following
fans
that.
that they not really into boxing. They don't understand how everything works. A lot of this stuff is people going on channels and panels and just repeating stuff after they heard it. Some of that stuff you just gotta sweep under the rug. You know what I'm saying? You can't just
That is true.
take it
That's
too
true.
personal. But I'm gonna
I
let
just
y'all
don't
get y'all
understand
last
why.
words in. I'm about to hop off here, but we could start with GM. What you got, GM?
I was gonna say I don't understand how we cool with like certain fights like a Catterall versus Regis, but we always telling we want a Shakur to fight so and so, a Devin to fight this person, a Tank to fight. Like the people that are not at the elite level should be fighting for titles. That's all I feel. They should be trying to get that. Like Catterall should be going for a title shot. I don't think he should be fighting Regis. Regis need to be fighting his way back up. That's how I feel.
That's what he doing though by fighting
I'm.
Catterall. You can't
He
fight your
shouldn't be
way
getting
back
that
up
fight.
with another low level fighter.
No, you're right. I'm not mad at Regis. I'm mad at Catterall. I'm mad at Catterall. That's what I mean.
All right, VA, what you got for us?
Yeah, man. Like I said, my theme is going to be, I got to push this, certain group of fighters. They have to be pressured into fighting top fighters. So I think the guy's name is William Cepeda, or I forget which one, William or Jose. The one at 135, the Cepeda at 135. He's fought absolutely nobody, right? So he has to fight somebody. I think he even won a belt from fighting a nobody in a weight division that is so deep. Zepeda is a champion after ducking Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson openly, right? Pitbull ducked Frank Martin and Shakur Stevenson openly. Another guy, right? Virgil Ortiz, another guy who's fought absolutely nobody.
Let me ask you a
His
question.
best.
Is it ducking? Let me ask you a question. Is it ducking if I'm being lowballed by the promoter? Is that still ducking?
So, what is the purse that you're used to getting? You know what I'm saying? So
I
if you're
mean,
used to getting $150,000 and I offer you $150,000 and you say no, then I mean, so there's camera footage of Frank Martin going to the Cepeda's fight. He's walking out of ring. Frank Martin's like, "What's up?" And then this guy, he like when he feels the energy, he's like aggressive. He smiles and then he starts speed walking off. Like that's not the energy of a fighter, bro. You're supposed to get in this guy's face and be like, "Hey, I accept your challenge." You get what I'm saying? So, and then Virgil Ortiz was the mandatory for Bud for like 3 years. Virgil Ortiz was the mandatory for Bud before Bud fought Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? So this guy is that is ducking. I'm sorry, that's ducking, right? All you have to do is activate your mandatory. There's some paperwork you have to submit. And they okay, you're the next fight, no matter what, right? So that's him. Jaime Mugia, we all know what he's on. We all know what time Jaime Mugia is on. He's not gonna fight nobody. He fought. He's making money now with Canelo. After that, he's not gonna. He fought Derevyanchenko. That's a good fight, but that's it. In 7 years as a champion, he's had two legit fights. Zerto, same thing. So all this stuff, all this talk about, like the Mexican fan base is really strong on the internet, and they denigrate and discredit black fighters. But I want the microscope to be reflected back on these guys' fighters, and for everybody to see that these guys are essentially cowards. You know what I'm saying? They're fighters. You know what I mean? Like you don't fight any top. You fight in divisions that are super deep, and you still don't fight nobody. That's all I got.
all right, thank you, VA Money
I just
Group.
want to say I agree everything VA just said. Cepeda fighting Cabrera, that's a trash fight. I'll watch it though.
Crazy.
Is it a trash fight? I just told y'all Cabrera beat Pitbull.
He ain't beat Pitbull though.
Crazy. That's crazy. 2 cents in 135 at 135. That's a good fight.
Hey, Cabrera ain't no slouch though, y'all. Y'all might be sleeping on
Oh,
Cabrera.
it's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Out of all the
He's
guys
number
at
one in
135,
every sanctioned body, 2 cent. That's the problem.
He said it again.
He's number one in every sanctioning body right now. That's the problem. Why you fighting Cabrera? That's a joke.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what you got for us, Teach?
So Tio is an exceptional fighter. Like he did what he had to do at 135, and going up to 140, he had one good performance to me and had some other hiccups like on the way. And yesterday showed it. Is he ready for Tank? Yeah, I think he's ready for Tank. Even with those hiccups, because the guy he's proven himself. Um, is he going to beat Tank? That's a different story. You would just have to I would just have to favor Tank. I would just have to favor Tank in that fight. But we'll see how it goes. Whenever Tank decides to move up to 140, I just hope they make that fight and give the fans what they want.
Oh, and one last question I want to ask y'all. Y'all can go around and just tell me if you hate it or you like it. It's rumored that Mario Barrios will be fighting Manny Pacquiao next. Hate it or love it? GM.
Only reason I like it is because it makes sense because what's his name lost to Ugas Pacquiao, and I think what remind me was it Ugas beat Barrios
Nah, he
and
No,
lost.
Barrios beat Ugas.
Barrios beat Ugas. Okay,
Chat, what y'all think? Hate it or love it? Let me
Keith
know.
Thurman beat Barrios. Keith Thurman lost to Manny, and Manny lost to Ugas. So it kind of makes sense. That's how I feel.
All right, VA, hate it or love it?
I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's a good fight. But I wish that Manny Pacquiao could just hang it up. I wish that he was in a situation financially where he could just go sit down somewhere. You know what I mean? Watching old fighters come back to boxing, keep coming back and coming back. It, Even though I love boxing and I love Manny Pacquiao, it's almost like watching a drug addict relapse. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's not
Whew.
something that you want to see.
Wow.
You know.
All right, what you got? Teach, hate it or love it?
I like it for Barrios because it's pretty much a payday for him. So I can't knock him on that. But I'm intrigued to see what Pacquiao could do coming back. You never know. The guy could come back and win a belt. Foreman did it, right? So we'll just have to see what happens.
And I think that's always the lure of watching these old fighters come back. You just deep down, you kind of hope, like, damn, I hope they come back and get a championship just to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? They still got it. But in most cases, it don't really turn out like that. Let's see what the chat had to say. Rainbow Red said he hated. The Kilo Netter, what's going on? The Kilo, he said, hate it. Manny, too damn old. Crucial Content say, yeah, I love to see it. Send Pac-Man to the upper room. Rambo say he
Golly.
would rather see Barrios versus Stanionis, and Mr. Greg says he like it for Barrios as well. Well, Teach, GM, and BA, I want to thank you all for joining me on the panel today. I know I did a little quick live today. It's kind of all I could fit into my schedule, but I will be back next Sunday from 5 to normally 7. I was a little late today. I had some errands and stuff I had to run. But thank y'all for coming up on the panel, and I will be speaking with y'all next time. And I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to help support the channel. You can punch that like and subscribe button. You can drop some cash in the Cash App at $2 boxing, or you can just simply let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. If you're listening to the replay of this live, make sure you comment below and let me know your 2 cents about the topics that we talked about today. Is Tio ready to have a competitive fight with Gervonta Tank Davis? I'm not sure how far away that fight is. They're both in two different divisions right now, but it is a fight that's being talked about. 140 is a very competitive division right now. A lot of the fighters got L's already, so there's no use in quote unquote protecting that O. Let's see these fighters get in the ring and fight each other, and let's see quote unquote the best fight the best. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I'll see you in the next live.